So I'll start with good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second annual ChildPromise Gala. So this evening is a celebration, it is an affirmation of the human spirit and the recognition for the family, staff, and community members who have partnered with ChildPromise to make a difference. Tonight, we're privileged to honor one couple and two public servants who have shared gifts and unstinting energy and great generosity. Our honorees lead by example and inspire others to generously contribute to the continued success of the organization. Their personal and professional contributions benefit every person served by the organization. So the first thing, again, as Chair Gala, I'd like to thank the Board of Directors. I want to start with them and thanking them for their dedication and commitment to ChildPromise, especially Chairman Pastor Kwan, who obviously wasn't able to make it. And we would also like to thank all of our event sponsors, starting with our champion sponsor, Human Works Affiliates. Also a special thank you to Brown & Brown Insurance, Greenleaf Productions, thank you guys for being here. Arlene and Henry Friedman, are they here by any chance? Nope. We thank them anyway. And Vision for Equality. Thank you for the support of these valuable sponsors that makes this event possible. And our sincere thanks for making this a reality. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nathaniel J. Williams, ChildPromise President and Chief Executive Officer. Thanks to his great leadership, this organization looks forward to a great future. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Williams.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out. I think often in events like this, when there aren't as many people as you expected, you begin to question who's here. But I think we need to recognize who needs to be here is here. And we appreciate all the effort it took for you to be here today. So as was mentioned, we want to thank, we were supposed to have some judges in attendance and some fellow providers and CBRE, Clarion, colleagues from HWA, Spectrum, Child First, Integrity Staffing, the ChildPromise Board, Forget Me Not Services. We have people here from the Memphis Street Academy, the Philadelphia Department of Human Services, the State Department of Human Services, Sacred Heart Villa, and the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart, the Bethlehem Baptist Church, Kutztown University, and again, Vision for Equality. So without all of the support that we get throughout the year, this would not be possible. But we want to talk shortly about the Profs program. And sitting at a board meeting, Ken Campbell normally he's a talkative guy, but he went quiet and he was scribbling on a piece of paper. And he came up with this name for the program called Profs, which stands for Providing Resources and Opportunities for Future Standouts. This is a program that's housed at Kutztown University in its second year. And so we did a short video that highlights what's gone on during the first year as they head into their second year. So we'll cue that up now.
We've grown a lot since last year, both in numbers and the things that we're doing with the students. Last year, we started off with 5 during the first semester. In the second semester, I think we grew up to about 8 or 9 students, and now we're up to 15 students in total. One of them is going to be graduating in December, and we actually had another student, Lydia. She graduated last May, and we're really happy to see all the different places that they're going into. I would really like to see this program grow, not just to see that there's a lot of people in this program, but I know that there are 40 to 50 foster youth who are here on campus attending, and we're only housing 15 of them right now. I want to see us get close to 100%. That means that we're helping people achieve their dream of pursuing a 4-year bachelor's degree. Last year, a lot of our students talked about how they really wanted to get started driving because it gave a lot of freedom to them. So this year, we started the Profs driving program.
A lot of foster kids, will just walk everywhere, and you can't walk 5-10 miles to a job every day, especially in the snow or whatever the obstacles may be.
Basically, you meet with a driving teacher and they give you about 3 to 4 classes to teach you how to drive. I personally wasn't taught how to drive at any time, so that really helped me. At first, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was really scared, but I went like 4 times and then I went and got my license. So I have my license now.
Being able to get your permit and your license through this is very helpful because the company that we work with pays for the insurance and everything, and having your license is one of the major obstacles to being successful in life, just like education, so I feel like it makes a lot of sense that we have these things working in conjunction with each other.
Last year, we allowed one of our students to go on a study abroad experience to Cuba. We covered just about every single cost of her trip, from the passport to plane ticket. Those are some of the things that most of the students would have looked to their parents to pay for. But when you're a foster care student, you have to look to programs like the Props program to help you, to make sure that you get the same opportunities that other students don't have to think about.
I went for 12 days. We got to go to Havana, and then we also got to tour the city and visit all the different shops. We got to visit museums. At the end of the 12 days, we presented in front of the staff there and students, and then I got my 3 credits. Going to Cuba was an opportunity that I wouldn't have had if it wasn't for Props.
Kids kind of need this, like, especially kids that are in foster care. With the Props program, like, I've been through some rough past, and like they just helped me out so much. And I know that's the case for everybody else here on the Props program.
Everybody don't have a family, and everybody don't have people that love them. But at the Props program, like, they really love you here. Like Dr. Hilton, Lindsay, Josh, they really love you, like as a brother and sister.
I never had like somebody like to help me like go through life and stuff like that. So like Josh is there for that, like help me get through school. He's like somebody I could come to and talk to. It just happens we have to meet up every week.
These students truly mean a lot to me. I've gotten to know all of them through our weekly meetings, through going on other trips. And it's really interesting because each student has their own unique situations that they go through. And so it's important to have that one-on-one contact so that you know that there's at least one person on campus who is looking out for you, that cares for you.
So we have Dr. Hilton with us tonight. So Dr. Hilton, why don't you come on up? We had a plaque to give you, but it's stuck in a vehicle on its way here. I wanted to give to you and Josh a token of our appreciation in addition to the plaques for the work that you've done. Dr. Hilton, when he first came to Kutztown University, heard about our work with foster kids in Kutztown, and he was a fan before we even had a chance to meet, and he said that he wanted to make Kutztown a place where foster kids were welcomed, and he's done an outstanding job doing that. So why don't you say a few words, Dr. Hilton? Thank you.
Thank you, certainly. And you know, for me, seeing that video really chokes me up. You know, when I first met a lot of these students, I really didn't understand what their struggles were all about. And through this generous donation and the program being developed, we really get to understand that these students need a program like Props to be successful. As you saw in the video, Lydia graduated last year. We have another student, Amani, who's going to graduate in December. And that degree is going to change their lives forever. And when you see their faces, when they come into the office, when you see sometimes they don't have the smile on their face, and when they leave the office, they do, and they tell you how much they appreciate the love that we share with them, it really does make a difference. So while I know you're giving me something, truly we need to be giving you and everybody in this room who supports the program something. And we're really sorry that the students couldn't be here today. As it turns out, Mother Nature played a little trick on us, so they ended up getting stuck on campus and couldn't get out of Kutztown. But if they were here, I guarantee you they would share with you that without this program, they would not be able to succeed in college. And it's so important today to have programs like this that help young people who don't have support, who don't have mentorship, to be able to get the support they need so that they can progress and become productive citizens. So thank you to all of you in the room, and definitely to Dr. Williams and the Child Promise Board. Thank you.
And we did have a care package that was put together to give to the students. And Nitsa Leon, where are you? Right there. Was kind enough to put the bag together. Nitsa put a wonderful card in there. It says, a pillow to rest your head, a blanket to keep you warm, a clock to keep your time, a calendar to keep your dates, a journal to keep your stories, a flashlight to guide your way, and snacks, snacks, and more snacks. So thank you, Nitsa, for putting those together. We'll make sure we get them to the university. We were supposed to recognize Pastor and First Lady Kwan from the Bethlehem Baptist Church. Pastor Kwan serves as the chairperson of the Child Promise Board and has done so for at least the last 5 years. And he and his wife have been real champions for Child Promise, and we wanted to recognize their contribution. So we have a short video that will introduce them, and we'll make sure that we give them the award when we see them next. But here's the video.
Pastor Charles Kwan is pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church. He's a personable guy. He's sort of a cool effervescence. You know, on the one hand, he's laid back and chill from South Philly. And on the other hand, he is very charismatic and Pentecostal in his preaching and delivery. And he reminds me that I don't have to stop climbing on furniture and throwing things when I preach, because he does the same thing.
I don't think you can separate Bethlehem Baptist Church from Pastor and Lady Kwan. They are the church. The phrase, the motto of the congregation is a reflection of his spiritual growth, his identity, who he is as a human being.
Their partnership is key. If he did not have Tanya at his side to support him, he could not be the person that he is.
Many of us as clergy look to him as an example of a seasoned and senior statesman in the craft and calling. He is wise, and he is a blessing to the body of Christ.
I grew up in South Philadelphia. I came from a dysfunctional family. My mother and father were separated, and I had the opportunity to attend church early and learned about the importance of giving and self-identity, and those kind of things have been a source of strength to me as God came in my life. I'm sitting next to my grandson, our youngest grandson, Jaden Kwan, trying to instill in him and all our grandchildren the importance of giving back early in life, offering God his time, his talents, and his resources that he might make a difference in the world. My wife, on the other hand, we have been blessed to be married for 36 years. She has been my support, my encouragement, as I work with Child Promise, as I work with other community groups, offering God the little I have in terms of time and opportunity to bless others as God has blessed me.
Well, I think it's very important as a church to reach out to the community. We go down Center City, and people who are without food, we feed them every third Saturday of the month. I just think it's important to reach out into the community other than just within the walls of the church.
His family means everything to him. And when you talk to Pastor Kwan, you find out that Miss Tanya is number one, his sons, and then his church, in that order, are what's important to him.
Clergy need a place to go, a safe place, a home. Lady Kwan has been that place, wherever they live, where the pastor can be himself. And so she is his strength, she is his safe place, she is his haven, when he can come home and put the worries and the cares of his very important work aside and just be.
My grandfather is more outgoing and he loves everybody, and my grandmother, she's quieter sometimes, but she will let you know when you're wrong.
They're special to everyone that we know. All around, do anything for you. They're just special in every way.
They pull together the whole community each year for the Martin Luther King Day celebration, where he reaches across the theological aisle, where Muslims and Jews and Christians gather, and in our increasingly divisive national dialogue, his type of leadership is important.
He has always been a voice for the disadvantaged. He has devoted his life to the service and to the giving of a voice to those who often are not allowed to speak.
You know, we're taught that we ought not worship any individual, and our goal as Christians is to be like Christ. So I'm trying to be like Jesus, but on my way to being like Jesus, I want to be like Charles Kwan.
You are an honorable soul, both of you, not because of the rewards you're receiving, but because of the people that you are. And the most permanent dedication that we honor is what beats in your heart.
You both mean a lot to me. You just set a really good example for me. I hope they can see me graduate from high school and college, because they helped me a lot in my life, and I just wanted to give back to them.
It's a mandate from the Bible that you love one another and you care for another. No matter what background they're from, it's part of being a good person to care for somebody.
When we went to Kenya and we were looking to support that initiative, and one of the things that was said was very clearly, please do not come and leave. Be here for a long time. So it's my prayer that Bethlehem Baptist Church will continue to support ChildPromise long after this pastor's retired, or perhaps not even in pastoring. This is not about Pastor Kwan, this is about the people of God. And if we can help one child, God will get the glory.
So we'll give them this award. It is named after the recipients from last year who were major supporters of ChildPromise. It's called the Irene and Kenneth Campbell Lifetime Achievement Award. It's presented to Charles W. and Tanya R. Kwan, 2018. So we'll make sure that they get that. Josh Shapiro was also another honoree. He could not make it this evening. And I think what we're going to do is table his for next year and see if we can get him to come back with us next year. And so we'll move on to our next honoree, and then what we're going to do is take a short break for dinner, and then Tommy Davidson as well as Campbell Walker Fields will entertain us after we finish eating. But before we do that, we want to recognize our Human Services Leadership Award recipient for 2018, and it's Estelle B. Richmond, who is the former Secretary of Public Welfare. Don't get up yet, Estelle. Don't. We're going to watch a short video that's going to tell you a little bit about her, and some of those people sitting at her table there were part of the video, so you'll see them smiling.
My name is Estelle Richmond.
What would your preferred title be underneath your name?
Retired.
Estelle is the epitome of a modern-day Renaissance woman.
She's given, I think, close to 30 years of service, and she continues to give.
She is the champion of the most vulnerable among us.
Estelle Richmond is just this remarkable woman
someone who is a leader in behavioral health at the county, state, and federal level, and is someone who I think has committed her entire life to public sector and doing good.
Well, it's just wonderful to be here to talk about Estelle. She, I think, is so many things to so many different people. For the autism community, she was the individual who really gave our community a voice and a place at the table in Pennsylvania. She is an advocate for children, an advocate for individuals who are vulnerable and sometimes voiceless, an incredible mentor to so many of us who work in government, who I think because of Estelle have an incredible belief in the possible.
She's very honest, sincere. She really truly believes in supporting people with disabilities and their families. Just a very sweet, caring woman who really wants to change the lives of many people by having them supported in their homes and communities.
Estelle stands as that inspiration that we are responsible for others. And she's demonstrated that in every way that I can think of. She looks at life as a window. And while you're in that now, in that window, you have to maximize whatever possible achievement that you can.
She created the first program here at Visions. And what we do at the Consumer Family Satisfaction Teams is monitor folks who once lived in Emeryville State Center. They've come out into the community, and we provide an independent monitoring and advocacy service for them. And that's all because of the vision that Estelle Richmond had.
And I can remember specifically sitting at a meeting and Dr. Williams said to me, I always had a little bit of resentment about the amount of time you were spending in autism and didn't spend the same amount of time with people with developmental disabilities. I think by the time he completed this, we were all in tears. And he gave me credit because his son had been diagnosed with autism. And because of some of that energy we have spent, there was now an array of services and supports that had not been there earlier.
Folks used to tease us about the fact that we had our own language and they didn't want to come into our meetings because we were talking behavioral health speak. But because of that, she made opportunities that were unheralded in state government. We closed 3 state hospitals, we expanded Health Choices Managed Care to the rest of the state, we created certified peer specialists, we created a forensic initiative and task force, we created permanent supported housing. It was her vision and her ability to say, you have a team, go do it.
I just admire her so as a woman, as a leader, as someone who has incredible passion for the work that she does, but compassion for the people that she serves.
I remember when she first walked into the Secretary of Welfare's office, and I had challenges with previous administrations, and more particularly the one before she became secretary. So as soon as she walked in, she called and asked if I would come over. I walk in, and there's these glass doors, and they're open, and then she comes over, she gives me a hug, and then she starts dancing me all around the corridor in the offices. And she's whispering in my ear. She says, I want these people to know that you're my friend. And that was the beginning of a wonderful relationship.
I so appreciate the fact that if I'm feeling like I'm a little in trouble or I'm challenged or I'm a little uncertain, I can email her and I always hear from her.
She gives hope for the future. And I think that's one thing that not many people could say that they leave as a legacy. Giving people hope that they can have a life in the community, that they can be supported the way they need to be. She's changed their lives.
There are things that come from the heart, not from the brain. And I think in this time that we're in right now, people are attacked because they think with their heart. And I think we have to. And I think Estelle is the representation of that responsibility.
It's through programs that Estelle put in place and maintained that my daughter's still able to get out in the community, have a wonderful life, celebrate with her family, her birthdays, holidays. It's extraordinary.
My own son, who I don't talk about a lot, would not have a chance at a future the way I feel he does now if it hadn't been for Estelle.
I'm still trying to understand what retirement means. I still have a problem saying no. So if someone presents me with a way to help, I often take it. One of my ongoing missions in life, which I still respond to, is the integration of all of our services. I'm going to continue to try to reach towards those goals of integration, respond to those who ask me to do things, and to stay retired.
So two quick stories. We had Estelle come out to Kutztown University when we were having the foster kids visit the campus, and she gave a speech, and it was really good. But then she leaned over to me and said, "How do you think I did?" I'm like, "You're the secretary, and what am I to say?" But I think it talks about her humility. The other quick story is about my mother-in-law, who's here tonight. My mother-in-law hails from Ghana and Liberia, so she went to see Estelle when she spoke, and she saw the title Secretary of Public Welfare. And so she leaned into me after it was over and said, "Boy, for a secretary, she speaks pretty good." I had to explain. Secretary means a little different here. But for a secretary, you do speak pretty good. Without further ado, I give you Estelle Richmond.
Thank you, Nate, as always. And it's great to be here. I don't live that far away, although I'm sure, like most of you, it took about 5 times longer than you would have planned to get here. But it really, this is something I wouldn't have missed. In fact, I did miss last year because I was in Africa. And one of those fish pictures with me and the fish were actually taken on that trip. But I do try to stay retired, but the work I have done and the work I'm doing still remains incredibly important to me. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Nina Cote and my speaker, Dennis O'Brien, because while I come up with ideas sometimes, and people will tell you I can be pretty prolific in coming up with ideas, it takes people like Nina to make those ideas real, to get things on the street, and to make sure they're running. But it also took the leader, the power and the voice, and the wingnut every now and then, of the speaker to legislatively make things happen. As we know from much of our environment today, keeping your eye on that ball can be difficult. You have to talk, you have to understand, and most of all, we have to listen. And too often now, people don't listen. And one of the things that was very true, I was with the Rendell administration, was a Democratic administration. The Speaker O'Brien was the Republican and represented, but we all worked together because the work we were doing was so critically important that it defied party. It was about people, it was about children, it's about parents, it's about grandparents, it's about what makes our society truly work. I would also like to acknowledge my daughter is here tonight, and we had hoped, Elisa Camel, we had hoped that my granddaughter would be here tonight, but the weather kept us a little bit far from that. But without family support and family always being around, and I have my daughter, a son, and 4 grandchildren. And that's what keeps you alive and keeps you moving and keeps you focused, because every day you want to make life for them a little better than the day before. I appreciate this. While I haven't given up on the concept of retirement, I am still bound and determined to try every day to make life different for those who struggle. And I truly appreciate the work that Dr. Hilton is doing, because if we can give the advantage of education to every one of our children who don't have that support, we move a little further ahead. So thank you, Kutztown, for all of you do. Thank you for reaching out to the children and youth who don't have that advantage, and keep up the good work. And thank you to all of you for this award.
We're now going to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight, Tommy Davidson. I had a chance earlier this afternoon. You can give him a round of applause. I had a chance early this afternoon to go with him to visit a charter school in Kensington. I spoke to them last week, and some of the faculty are with us today. So where is the Memphis Academy? There you go, charter school. Very good, welcome. And so I spoke to some of the students last week, and I said, by the way, next week we have Tommy Davidson coming. And so it was natural for us to ask them to host him for lunch today, and then he's going to join us tonight. But he did a wonderful job with those youngsters and really spoke from the heart, even cried. So I was really impressed. As a person who cries all the time, I just thought it was really, really good. So let me get back on script here. Now I'm pleased to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, best known as a cast member on In Living Color. This veteran of the entertainment industry has sustained a 30-year career in film, TV, and stand-up comedy. He even started an affordable men's accessory line with his wife, Amanda, who's here with him tonight, called Tongue in Cheek. More importantly, he is an adopted child. Please help me in extending a warm welcome to Tommy Davidson.
Hi. Is that Mary Tyler Moore? I'm older than I look. So Nathaniel Williams, I want to give you an applause for everything that you are doing. Can we give him a hand? We had a lot of people not show up, so all y'all women that want some more food, go ahead and get you some. Especially when the dessert come around, there's extras. And don't steal the lamp off the table. All right. Sir, how are you? All right, I love the shirt. What does it say, King? Okay, on the back, does it say Kong? I'm just guessing. If you're in the elevator, King, and everybody go, don't turn around. No? Okay, all right, okay. So I'm a comedian. I'm gonna take you home with me. So you are, huh? And things like that, I make a lot of observations, you know what I mean? And we live in a colorful world, I'm telling you. And what we're going through, did I say something? Is everything okay? Costco's closed, White women, the Costco's still open. They're having a sale on buttered popcorn. Like white women enunciate all the way. They say the whole word, like cookies. You can hear the S on it. Can I have some of those cookies? Can you hear the S? Cookies. See, black people don't put the S on cookies. It sound more yummy. You want them cookies? Hey, Raymond, bring one of the cookies. You see, we're different. Pancakes are singular, It's not pancakes. It's pancake. Give me a stack of them pancake. You see what I mean? We're all different. And there's a lot going on. I like to look at our society as a peaceful place to live, even though things are going crazy. We're all different, but we're the same. I'll make some demonstrations. Like, I think white guys are really cool because they can hear a loud noise and still walk in a straight line. Okay? Because there's a lot of gunshots and stuff going on, but I admire white men because they can hear a gunshot and keep going. You know, I'll just show you. Watch. You guys watching? Let me show you that again. It's like I hear a gunshot, but I'm on the way to Home Depot, so what? Ready? Here we go. How you doing, sir? Everything okay? All right. You can feel safe. Trump ain't around here. Don't worry, somebody's gonna hit you when you get home. This is not all designed for right now. How you doing, girl? I'm fine. You're a little aggressive thing. How you doing? How you doing? You know how long I had these braids in my head? How long? 2 years.
A couple of days, actually.
You see? You see this? You see this? I'm gonna go over here. She said, a couple of days, actually. They're still fresh. They don't smell like my living room yet. That's a joke. In case you didn't know, for black women, I think the young black women have it good because at least they got a salon. You see, back when I was growing up in 70, yes, I said 70, the salon was in the kitchen. It is that straightening comb that sat by the Crisco can. They heat it up till it's like a branding iron. You blow it, smoke coming out of it. They put it in the hair, you hear that little sizzle. Don't let it touch your neck. Come to school with stripes all on your neck. My sister used to come to school with stripes on her neck. People say, what happened to you? I said, would you run into a tiger? And we were talking about that straight line. See, how black people are different. We hear a gunshot and we stop when we hear it. Because we don't know which way to run till we hear the second one. We're smart that way, so watch. You see the difference? See, now old black people are different too. See, they can't run fast, but they can tippy-toe fast. I'm gonna finish this. So they use a gunshot or something, a loud noise, they use it like a GPS. You know, they get coordinates from it, then they choose the right tippy-toe path. Watch. Just so you know. But we're the same country, we're the same people, and we're together in this thing. Okay? I think black people need to stop singing the national anthem, not because it's not patriotic, but because we try to sing too much. And we do the national anthem, we want to get a Grammy. We think it's The Voice. Remember the white guy used to come out and do the anthem, and you can hear every word in it. All say. Can. Did you hear the "n" on that? Can. I know you saw that. He's going, nah. Can you see by the dawn's early light? Did you hear the "t" on that? Nice hat, by the way. I mean, I can't see you. All I can see is the hat. That's because that light coming over here. Yeah, and I like that. He looking over, what had it, what had. See, when we sing the national anthem, we gonna make an album at a high school game. And the brother come out, what's up? This a little something I call an anthem. My real name Anthony. Oh, Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-oh. 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 Ho, ho, mo, ho, Say! Thank you, man. Where is he at? Is that you laughing? That's your first laugh of the night. How old are you, man? 13? Yeah, it was a 13 laugh. I like that. I heard it, not you. It wasn't like a, like a 30 or it was like 13. Say, can you see? Yes, I'm getting tired. Why you guys going, aren't you tired? Can you see? I ain't mean to scare you, Brandy. Are you looking? Do you got 20/20 vision? I ain't mean to scare you, big boy. Soon we're gonna have rappers doing the national anthem. You know that's coming, right? Hey, yo, check it out, yo. Yo, let's do this and let y'all know the time. You know what I'm saying? The national anthem, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't know what they're saying. So come on, y'all. Let's rock the anthem, y'all. Watch my DJ rock the national anthem. Straight. Straight. Straight, straight. Straight. I'm shaking you straight. I'm shaking you straight. Nasty. Nasty. Pop me up. Nigga, lick you like a lollipop. And you can get a taste. Yeah, that was my last one for the kids. And you can get a taste. I grew up in the 70s when nobody had words to songs. See, now you can have a whole song. It kind of makes sense, you know. You should call me on my cell phone. Midnight when you need. She ain't gonna call you, man. No matter how much money you got. See? What's that? I love this African one. You don't have no money, trust me. You don't have none left. You used to, but not now. Love Philadelphia. There's a lot of Latinos here. Where you guys at? I told you Trump ain't here, man. You can say hi to me, man. You're safe, man. I, don't like Trump for that reason. He's telling people to go back to Mexico. How do you go back to somewhere you already are? No, it's just the truth. I mean, the place, they're called Los Angeles, San Diego. That sound like a white name to you? And we cannot lose Latin people because we need Spanish TV. You ever watch Spanish TV? You don't got to know English. It's just exciting. You be at home like, I think this come on Saturday. You don't got to speak English because Spanish is a much more complex language than English, so you need less of it. So a Puerto Rican woman on the news, she described the crime scene with like 6 English words because they put more emphasis on it. Ma'am, what happened? Please. Please. Ma'am, what happened? Please. She's not even past one word yet. Please. Please. Y the police is coming. It may be 100 police. I don't know what happened. And the police grabbed the man, making him feeling no good. They want the police kicking him like that. And then the police go, you see what I mean now? Thank you, sir. I grew up around singers like Michael McDonald. Anybody know about Michael McDonald? Well, you know, you have YouTube. Michael McDonald on YouTube. Okay, and also Tiger. I got your attention now, don't I? Tiger is a singer. She go, where Tiger at? She look at me like, it ain't no Tiger there, is it? Michael McDonald, the thing I loved about him is he didn't have any words. But it was still beautiful. You don't know me, but I'm your brother. I will reggae, yeah, you. You're like, what? Anita Baker, I never heard a word she said, but it was sounded sweet, didn't it? Well, I'm you, baby, you will see my arms. Al Green didn't have any words, but it make you clean up the whole house. Dun, 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 dun. Spend my days think about just can't make nothing. Feel like I do. That was your part. And it also to let me know how I look in your eyes. And let me know how I feel. Let me know that love is really real. Saying to me that don't you know that I'm still in love, sure enough in love with you. Yeah. Thank you. Some of the songs were so good when I was growing up, you forgot you remembered them. Many guys have come to you with the lines that weren't true, and you just pass them by. Now you're in that sin ring, and those lines don't mean nothing. Why don't you let me try? That was pretty good. You're going extra, ain't you? Let me try. You leave them cigarettes alone. Let me have this. Now I don't wear no diamond ring. I don't even know the song to sing. But all I know is I love you. You see, you knew that. Even the white guy's going, I love you. You didn't know he knew that. Let me hear it, baby. He knew it. One of my favorite singers of all time is Sammy Davis Jr. You got a bus to catch, man? He goes, Sammy, man, I got a bus to catch. I know. You caught the bus like I did. She got scared. Ain't no bus around here, you know. Got that scared. You ain't never been to the bus stop knowing it ain't coming, but you trying to act like it's gonna come. Your bus supposed to come. Anyway, I'm traumatized by the bus. That's a long story. But I want to do something different. I want to do Sammy Davis Jr., Dr. Jekyll and Sammy Davis Jr. Hyde. Okay? I'm going to do Dr. Jekyll and Sammy Davis Jr. Hyde. Now, if you don't know who Dr. Jekyll is, read up on it. And if you don't know who Sammy Davis Jr. is, it's going to get scary. It was a dark night in London. Dr. Jekyll had finally found the formula to change beast to man. You laughing already? Beast to man and man to entertainer, but would it work? This is not working. All right. Hold on, I lost my glasses. Where to put them? Thank you, sir. You been frying chicken in these glasses? Look at this. This is like the Colonel's glasses. Come on over to KFC. It's all right here. Yeah, best I can do. I better hurry up right now. Then let you use them now. Don't start it. All right, you're right. Where did you buy these? On Venus? Lord have mercy. I'm not going to church Sunday. I'm going to just wear these. I can see the Lord through here. I ain't never going to church again. I just put these on. Lord in the morning, Lord in the morning. Lord over here, Lord over there, Lord right here, Lord over there, Lord I swear, Lord I swear. You know how much gas money I can save on Sunday? I just sit up on the porch. Lord, I got Lord, I got Lord, I got Lord. I got Lord, you got Lord, we got Lord. I see you, see you, see you, see you. I see you, you see me, you see me, you see me, the Lord see me. All right, so anyway. No, I need them. I love him. Give them back right now. I'm taking them right back to Costco. Lord, don't do that. All right. Thank you for the use of the glasses, sir. I'd like everyone to put their hands together just a little bit and join me on this. Is that okay? All right. Just snap your fingers. That's a little bit too fast. What's she doing? She's doing this. Let's try this again slower, guys. That's still a little bit too fast. You know, white people don't do it. You're throwing me off. I'm just not you. Not you. Not you. I need the Lord. Okay. So And you too need the Lord too. I see you too. You see me, I see you, Lord. I see you, Lord, Lord. No. Ba-doom, ba-doom, try it. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Either you two against the wall. And the brother in the damn tight suit. Ka-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ka-doom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom, ka-doom, ka-doom. Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build me a mountain, place I hope I will. Gonna build me a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I don't know I'm gonna try. I'm gonna build a daydream, as I will someday he. And the Lord sends Gabriel to take me away with a fine young son to take my place. I'll build a sun on heaven on earth with the good Lord's grace. Okay, you can bring that down now. Just, that means stop it. With a fine young son. I'm going to give him back. He looking at me like, you better give him back. To take my place. I'll build a sun on heaven on earth with the good Lord's grace. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, sir. Y'all feeling all right? A little bit long tonight because I know that we had some people that didn't show up, so I want to give y'all something a little bit special because I'm here physically. And a lot of people don't come out to see people, and I'm proud that I am actually one of those people that no matter if it's snowing, it's raining, whatever's going on, I can connect back to a community like my mother taught me to. Dr. Williams, I think you're doing an incredible job with what you got going on here. A little bit about myself. I'm not a foster child, but I was abandoned as an infant in Mississippi in 1966. Was found randomly by a white woman from Wyoming and her husband from Colorado. I was almost dead when she found me at a house in the trash. She moved the tire out of the way and saw my foot. Took me to the hospital. I had contusions in my skull, and I had been starved, and they didn't know I was going to live, so I stayed at the hospital for almost a month, and I moved to Fort Collins, Colorado, where I grew up. I grew up in mountains and streams and horses, and I mean, just prairies. I mean, you can consider me a Western little boy, you know? And they broke up, and we moved to Washington, D.C., in 1968, when Martin Luther King got shot during the riots. And I had no idea about who's black and who's white or nothing, but we went to the swimming pool that week, and the black kids kicked our ass so bad. And they kept saying white cracker, and they would kick my ass and told me I'm a white cracker lover. And so I went home. This happened so much, I finally went home to my mother, and I said, why do they keep calling me a white cracker lover? Because I like graham crackers. Seriously, you know? And I had no idea about color. And she said, that's what people your color call people our color when they don't like them. You know, and I was like, well, what color am I? And she said, you're black. And I said, well, how can that be? Because the color that I know of, I'm brown in the crayons, and my family, my brother's white, my sister's white, my grandmother, grandfather, everybody, and they were like peach in the crayons. You know, if you got a certain box of crayon, they were flesh. You know? And so that like split my mind in half. I didn't know what that was about because I thought the people were like animals. I thought like You know, I'd see a cat have kittens. It could be a black cat have a white kitten, speckled kitten, brown kitten, or a gray one. You know, or a horse can be a brown horse and have a black colt. So I thought that I was a black one of us, you know. And we moved from there to Wheaton, Maryland, and that was the first time I heard the word nigger. And I got chased home by grown white men, barely getting in the house, fighting all the time, and I heard this word, nigga this, nigga that. And it was a very dangerous time for me. And I remember coming home, and I called my mother in the living room. I said, Mom, who are these niggas? Because we got to stay away from them. Like, these must be some really bad people, because they want to kick my ass every time they see me. You know, just by the mention of them. You know? And seriously, and she told me, well, that's what people our color call people your color when they don't like them. And I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know, I finally moved to an integrated neighborhood. Some big white guys chased me. Some big black guys came out. The white guys ran the other way, and I've been black ever since. That's what started my black story. And I found out that it's just a culture. That's all it is. It's a culture, and it's like any other culture, Italian culture, Irish culture, Polish culture, whatever. It's a human culture, what it is. You know, the base is African. The base is African, and the culture that came out of that reached its way to Jamaica, reached its way to America, reached its way to Haiti, reached its way all around the world, and is a part of who we are, you know, and everything that we do. This is special to me because my mom was a community woman. My mom was the one that everybody looked up to. You know, if somebody got killed in the neighborhood, you knew because somebody's in your living room crying about 4:30 in the morning. You know, there was a drug addict that was having a problem. They stayed at our house for a couple of days. There's a little boy who lived next to us who was born. His mother was a heroin addict. He came over to our house. He was like my little brother and like my son at the same time. I was 15. He's now teacher of the year in Washington, D.C., has his own kids, doing his own thing. That's the kind of woman that she was. I used to think she was crazy because we come home, we're on welfare, we come home with groceries, and she starts sending little kids home with the food. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She's like, what's wrong with you? You don't tell me what to do. She was trying to show me that if you give, you'll always get. You'll always receive. You'll always receive. So in the world that we're living in now, and the political climate that we're living in now, has nothing to do with Democrat, has nothing to do with Republican, has nothing to do with socialist, has nothing to do with communism, has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with have and have-nots. You know, have and have-nots. And it seems like the people that have are having a whole lot more, and the nots ain't not having nothing. And things never went well that way for any of us. It didn't go well for the Irish. It didn't go well for the Jews in Germany. It didn't go well for Africans. It didn't go well any way you count that. But the one thing my mother used to tell me is the people united can never be defeated. She used to tell me that all the time. The people united can never be defeated. When I say something like that, I'm talking about the civil rights movement when people got together and changed laws. I'm talking about the women's movement when women got together and got their equality. You know? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about unifying and physically doing the work. Like some of the wonderful women here that have shown, and some of the people that are recipients of this award have shown. You know, because no one's going to work as hard for the people than the people that love people. That the people that really love people and love the integration of people and love. The one thing I learned out of my whole journey is that love has no color, but it sure takes a long time to get everybody together. But it's possible through this program. It's possible through multiple programs. It's possible through just somebody you may see in the street. It's possible through you. So I just wanted to say thank you for having me here. I would rather be no place than here because this is what I understand. This is what I understand. It was more than white people. It was more than black people that enriched me and taught me was everybody taught me. You know, my mother ran a school, a Chicano school, a juvenile home, and they were my favorites. You know, she turned our apartments into co-op apartments. The police weren't even allowed to come over there without permission or being called. You know, they mobilized their community and they protected the children there so that they can grow into positive human beings. And that's the reason why I'm here, because if this globe was speckled with, let's say, bad people were red dots and good people were blue dots, then this whole place would be pretty much blue. It'd be full of blue dots but we can't see it from that angle. We can't see the earth from that angle because it comes out of the TV, it comes out of the phone, and these are different dimensions. You know, the TV cannot come and hold your hand and hug you when you need it. The phone cannot jump at you and help bring resources to you. It can't do it, but we can. And we always have been able to do that. People can. And I'm not one of those people that is a pessimist about our country. I think we're doing really well during hard times like we always do. Like we always do. And we'll get through this period just like we got through some periods that were even worse, where we couldn't even sit together. We couldn't even go to the same bathroom together. We couldn't even vote together. We couldn't march together. We couldn't do anything, none of them. Right on. I think that was Siri. She get on my nerves, but I found out that she can add. I can't add to us. I'd be like, Siri, what's 120, you know. I like her now. She don't know much about African history, but we got to teach her. I got to find a database, see what's going on with Siri, because she don't know nothing about no Africa. And I'd be like, Siri, you know, what about, you know, ancient Nubia? I don't know what you mean, man. I'm like, all right, we'll get to it. But thank you guys. I went a little bit long because I love you guys, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Again, let's let Mr. Davidson and his wife Amanda know we appreciate them coming out all the way from California. We want to remind people that the auction is getting ready to close in the back there, so please visit that before we wrap it up. We want to again congratulate the Attorney General Shapiro, Estelle Richmond, Pastor and Lady Kwan for their awards. And now we are going to have our final entertainment for today. And probably about 2 years ago, I was sitting on a Saturday watching, actually on YouTube, and just looking at different stories from America's Got Talent. And so I came across Camber Walker Field's story. And he is a young man that was adopted at a very young age by two Caucasian men who are his fathers. And he went on the show, and he was talking on the show about his mom. We never had a chance at that particular point to meet. And so they did this intro, and then he sang this song. It was really beautiful and would make you cry if you saw it. And I just, out of a fluke, wrote him and said, hey, would you come to a gala that we're having? And he agreed to do so last year. And so it was real clear for us that we wanted to have him back. He left everybody in high spirits last year, so we wanted him to join us again this year. He's getting big as time is going on. But last year his parents flew with him. This year he's out here on his own, so he's definitely getting to be a man in his own right. So all the way from Oklahoma, I give you Campbell Walker Field.
Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. It's been a really crazy day, as most of y'all probably know. A lot of changes and stuff, but we're here, we're all here, and we're gonna have a great time. Just before we start, I want to introduce the band I got back here. On drums, got my man Josh Thomas. Over here on bass is my dude Jermaine. And then this guy right here flew all the way out with me from Oklahoma. This is Ian Torres on guitar. And so, yeah, because of the weather and stuff, we weren't all able to get here in time. So you know, we've never done this. You know, we've never done any of these songs together. But you know what? We're going to do it tonight. But in that time that me and Ian were waiting here, we wrote a song about today and about tonight. So, you know, this is going to be the world premiere of this song. Y'all came out on a night. Y'all about to hear the first thing, and we're about to play it. Okay. All right. So bear with me. You know, this is just written, but we're going to do it right now. All right. Here we go. I woke up this morning, it was snowing outside. I looked out the window and all I could do was hide. Lord, tell him, Lord, I've got the Philly blues. Yes, I do. Man, look, it's cold, rain and sleet. Lord, I don't know what to do. Oh. Come on, look. Me and Ian, we sat in the bed. We thought we'd have a nap. It was so cold outside, we couldn't even get a snack. Lord, we're dealing with these Philly blues. And you know it's true. Man, look, it's cold, rain, and sleet. Lord, we didn't know what to do. Man, now sing this with me right now. Sing it with me. I've got the Philly blues. Oh, yes, I've got the Philly blues. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, you know I've got the Philly blues. Yes, I do. Oh, I don't know what to do, 'cause all I've got is the Philly blues. Look. Man, it's you that we're here for. To thank you for all that you do. For all these kids, I want to really say it again. You know we're here for you. Oh, yes, we're here for all of you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you. So without a further ado, I want to get rid of this Philly blues. Awesome. Thank you. Right, world premiere now. You can go tell everybody. Go buy the track. All right, yeah. So we're just here to have, we're here to have a lot of fun. So this next song, since there's a limited number of you, I was gonna ask for some audience participation, and you can't hide now, because I can see all of you. You can't hide behind, Mr. Davidson over here tested your vocals. I'm gonna test your rhythm. All right, I'm gonna test your rhythm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split the room in half right here. Okay, so we're gonna clap in 4, right? So just do this with me right here. Oh, don't speed up now. Come on, no, gotta keep a steady tempo. Okay, so this side of the room, it's gonna go. Okay, keep doing that. And then this side of the room, we're gonna go. Keep that going. You know the song, sing along with me, come on. So last year when I was here, I was a 16-year-old in a 60-year-old man's body. And this year, I'm a 17-year-old in a 61-year-old man's body. And keeping with that, you know, old music is really a big part of me. And my favorite artist of all time, I think the greatest artist of all time, is Ray Charles. Yeah, thank you. And I got to give respect to that. So tonight, I don't ever do this song. I learned this just for tonight, because it's just, you know, I didn't want to be that person that just did this song when they hear Ray Charles. You know, I always wanted to go into the deep tracks. But this song just really, really means a lot to me. So this is Georgia on My Mind. If y'all want to follow, you can or not. All right. Thank you. Georgia, oh Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Ooh, it keeps Georgia. I said a Georgia. Ooh, Georgia. The song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in the peaceful dreams I see, that road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, oh, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song, yes, keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms, oh yes, they reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still in the peaceful dreams I see, the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, oh, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song, yes, keeps Georgia on my mind, keeps Georgia on my mind. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, I got one last song for you tonight. And like I said, I like old music. I got 3 posters of Ray Charles above my keyboard in my room. I also have one more picture of a guy. He's a guitarist, though. I don't play guitar, but he's one of the greatest guitarists ever. And Ian is about to come out here and really show y'all what that is. You know, Ian, we're going to do the moves, Ian. We got to give him the moves, too. All right, this next song is, actually, you'll know it when you hear it. All right, come on now, clap your hands now. Way down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. Way back up in the woods among the Appalachians. It's little long cat made of earth and wood. We lived in country boy named Johnny Good, who never learned to
Hurry to the river that the drivers man. People stopping by, they were about to say, oh my, but that little country boy, you ain't go. God, Johnny, go. God, Johnny, go. Go, Johnny, go. God, Johnny, go. Johnny, be good. All right, play that guitar out here. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So let's give them another round of applause. That was wonderful, wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for venturing out and joining us this evening. We look forward to next year's gala, and hopefully we will do it a little earlier, so we'll avoid the weather. But please do me a favor as you travel home, say a prayer before you pull out, and take your time getting there. It'll be there when you get there. If it takes a little longer, it's better to be safe than sorry. But again, thank you so much for coming out. You are much appreciated.